Hey everybody, welcome back. Alright, just too nice of a day, middle of February, and it's like 72 degrees out, and decided to walk my property. There's a clearing up there. There's a right along, and this is probably gonna be boring, just me talking about the woods, so if you don't like that kind of stuff, probably shouldn't watch. But there's a clearing right here that goes right up to my property line, that goes all the way down. Hopefully I'll show you that here in a little bit. And then, where is it? I just seen it. It's funny how you can just see something and then it completely disappear on you. You'll probably see it before I will. There's a marker down there. Let's just walk down here a little bit. I don't know if you can, I'll try to show you when I get down, but there's a pretty good grate. There it is. Can you guys, I can't tell on the camera if you can see that or not. Let's see. Back over there. There it is. We'll walk over there to it. But I don't know if I can, you can tell. There's a pretty good grade here coming downhill, obviously, because I'm going downhill. There, can you see it? There you go. Like right there. That is our plat line. Across here. See if that little thing will hold my old fat butt. There we go. Okay. So, there's the marker. Okay. So, from this marker, if you aim up that way, now that I'm down here, you can kind of tell pretty good hill there. But the property line runs from that marker I just showed you. Let me get back here a little bit. Hey, bit of an incline. Clean off some cameras. There we go. Apparently there we go. Sorry about that, fellas and ladies. I got my pants all dirty. If you can't tell, this is a bit of an incline, as I've just shown you, because that's how gravity works when there's no good place to stand. Let's try this again. There we go. There's the stick. Right there. Don't mind the crooked stick. Right there going up. This over here is mine. This over here is not. Now, you come down the hill. Going up this hill. Stuff on this side's mine. This stuff on this side's not. And when I say mine, that's mine and my wife's, not just mine. It's hers too. But instead of mine and my wife's every time, I'll just say mine, because that encapsulates her also. So, but that's up there. And then, all right, let's see if we can climb this hill in shoes that I'm not supposed to climb in. I'm too old for this crap. That's what you run into. I wish I had another cameraman that could get me falling. Plus, this is a little harder to do when you are doing it with one hand. So, and there's random sticky bushes. Okay, here we go. Yay. Okay. So, there's the marker. Come up here. And if you can see it, there's a marker right there. That's the corner of my property. So this over here, mine runs along the tree line behind these houses up here. So, but this is really not the greatest accessibility. So, I really haven't done anything with it. Alright. So, somewhere up in here, I need to come through and remark all these. I had it marked really good at one time. But somewhere, there it is. My pink flag came off of it, but there's a little rod right there. That's the property line also. So now if you shoot straight that way, that is property line. So as you can see, most of this up here, if I had one of them houses up there, it'd be perfect. Clear this out, make a nice little area, but okay. Straight down. And then we got a big creek, which, you know, that's not mine. But from here, this way up to the bridge, I'll show you in a little bit, it's mine. And then basically straight shot there. We've got about 2 acres on that side of the creek. But I'm going to try to finagle my way over there without getting completely flooded, because like I said, I don't have the right shoes for this. And it's fairly hilly. Go up there. See if we can come down the hill right here. Yeah. Yeah, let's go here. So, I know if you like the AI videos I've been putting on for a while, this is definitely different than those. It was just so nice out today. And I got work to do in the house, but it's just middle of the summer, a nice day like this. Okay, do stuff in the house. But towards the end of winter, and a nice day like this, go outside. Get some air. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now, there's the creek. And that house up there, from the point we're viewing it, it looks like it's on our property line because the line's over here, but it actually kind of angles and comes up right behind their garage over there. So, yeah, looks like we got a tire. I was out here one time, back before I did YouTube. I say that like I make money doing this, which I don't. If I get a couple million of you guys subscribe, I would. But looks like some sort of couch cushion. But I found a book, like an old CD case out here, but it was full of coins. It was buried, and there was one time where we had a huge rain and this creek actually filled up. I don't know if you can tell it, but like the top edge of that creek right there to the bottom, there's about, depending on where you're at, there, right in this area, there's probably about 1.5 foot of water in the deepest part. And from where the water level's at now to the top of that right there, that's about 7-8-ish foot. But about 6 foot up on them trees, we had a flood. We had this flooded one time that it was, the water line and the debris line was about 6 foot up on them trees. So all of this right here that I'm standing in was underwater. So we got a tree that laid over here, which kind of did a bendy on this one. Been that way for a little bit because you can tell it's got emergency growth going up. But yeah, the coins, there really wasn't any of them that's worth anything other than just, you know, their own value. They were very common, just somebody collected them for some reason. And let's see here. I need to get down here and clear this stuff out before everything starts growing. And this is not a good place to fall with a creek right there. Plus I have completely the wrong shoes on for this attempt. And like I said, I'm doing this one-handed because I got a walking stick in one hand and you guys in the other. So, there we go. There's a little thin area there. Got some layers. They're not long for this world. Being laid over. That's one that just fell recently. I mean, it's been dead for a while, but. And we had a beaver out here twice. I don't know if it's a different beaver, but yeah, I don't know if it was a different beaver, but we had one out here 2 different times. And the first one, I seen it for a while, and then I didn't see it for a while, and then I started seeing a lot of bobcat tracks out here because we do have bobcats. So I don't know if the bobcat ran it off or if it ate it. I don't know if bobcats are mean enough to do that. But I'll turn you back. We had that one right there. Beavers came out here, and it's funny because there's a lot of cottonwood out here, and somebody said if you want to trap a beaver in a live trap, use cottonwood as a bait because they love cottonwood. And well, half the trees out here are cottonwood, so really wouldn't do much good to put bait out when there's a smorgasbord all around them. But here's a recent fall. Well, let me go this tree first. Look, this one's got some huge burls on it. So, and it's got a, and this wasn't like this about 5 years ago. It was standing pretty much straight up and down. So, and that hill is raised up quite a bit right there. So this one's gonna come down before long, and I have no idea how to get that out of here without cutting it up smaller. I'd like to make, because right there is a couple of really nice tables that just haven't came out yet. But geez, sorry for the wonderful camera work, but yeah, how wide that is. which it almost kind of looks like, in a way, two trees grew up together. I don't know if that is the case, but yeah, over the past 5 years, she's leaned quite a bit. So, and then that one, that's a recent fall within a year. It broke off of that one and did that, and it laid one of them over. So this one comes down now. I'm gonna have to get me a bigger saw. I don't have anything big enough to cut that. But I will be cutting them burls off, and I don't know if I'll make something with them and sell them. But yeah, that's a pretty good sized tree there that broke off, and that one's having a bad day. So get rid of that one too. But the hill I'll show you here in a little bit up there, up top. That was the big trees that got cut off it, and then we just never did anything with them. I know, huge waste of wood. Most of them were cottonwood. There was a couple of oak trees in there that I cut some firewood off of, but and here's our little picnic area. Got lights all around it. If you look on one of my other videos, I show this, but here's the little creek. It goes into the big creek over there. Little, you can put some more bricks on that. That's what I had when I made it. Hey, if you guys are here still, if you don't mind, like and subscribe and watch all my other videos, and get me, goal right now is to get over 1,000 subscribers. So I'm working on it. We were going to build a house out here at one time, but then we found a house that we liked. So right there is where I got electric running to there. And then back, that tree right there, about 30 foot past that is the property line. Oh, hey, slick spot there. Oh, and yeah, look, I got street slicks on. This is ours, and there is somewhere, yeah, right past whoever left that tote there, right in there is a marker. So it goes across here, crosses the creek, it goes up to that marker. And then when we were going to build a house, all of this right here and this driveway, I made that with a dozer. Because when I made the driveway here to go up to the house, obviously it's not paved. I got to the getting ready to lay rock, and we bought a house instead of building one. But that all the extra dirt I had from that was in huge piles down here, and that wasn't accessible before. So while I had the dozer, I just pushed the dirt around and cleared out that area, the picnic area you seen, and used the extra dirt to fill in all that. And there's a small little creek, which I need to clear this crap out right here. There's a small little creek right here, and it ran over into this creek. Well, more like a ditch back there ran into this creek. And I don't know if you can still see it or not with everything grown up. Yeah, right there. There's some tube, and that corrugated tubing is going from that side of the creek over to here, and then I covered it over with dirt to make it. Well, look at that. Hey, I found a hole. Eesh. That goes in there a ways. Finding all kinds of stuff for you guys. Watch that. You guys can make a fail video out of this. Remix it. Just do me a favor if you do. Give me credit so that I can get some more subscribers. And this through here I've just kept mowed because there's a lot of wild blackberry through here. These here. There's a bunch of them on each side. And I mean, we're eventually gonna clean this out and put a hog fence through here just to protect the hillside, or to protect from falling down the hillside. But down below where I showed you earlier, we're up on top of the hill now. And we had this cleaned at one time, them trees you seen down there. But the company that cleaned it took all the trees off and everything. They just pulled the stumps out and left big holes. So I couldn't mow anything. So it is back to that now. But let's see here. A little bit farther. But I've kept this much mowed just so it didn't completely grow out of it. But like here, we want to clean it out and put some hog fence like right along the edge, you know, a couple feet up from the edge. But there's that big tree with all the burls. There's that one that fell and the one that fell from. That one's short. That one's gonna be short for the world. But so that's reference point for that. And then if we come back here, and there's also a lot of sticky bushes in here. And no, I don't know the actual name for them, but I call them sticky bushes because they stick you. There's a bunch of cones we had out here when we were because we were gonna put a house up on top of this hill, and actually see some more cones down there. We was gonna put a house up here on top of the hill. Like if you're looking, I don't know, right in here. The house was gonna go right here, and then the septic was gonna go right here. So, but we ended up, you know, buying. But if you look, you can see the T-posts. That's the property line running down the hill here. And down there where I first fell, that one you seen, the T-post with a ribbon on it, that's this line running down. And then where I showed you the electric over here, this line runs that way. And you can kind of tell, you can see how there's tall trees and then there's not. The line kind of runs along where the tall trees are not at. So I don't have the time to do it. So we're gonna hire a company, come in and clear this off and get it smooth enough I can mow it. And then wife and I is gonna clear this off over here and then put the hog panels up. We're just gonna probably just use T-posts, but I've got a lot of honey locust and black locust out here, and they're just about the perfect size for fence posts. And that's actually what they used to use a long time ago, because bugs don't like it and it's extremely hard wood. So I don't know, we may use some of them, I don't know. We'll have to see when we get there. It's a lot easier to just go buy 100 T-posts and drive them in the ground and hook the hog fence to them. And no, it's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but it's what we're going to do. Maybe. There's a lot of wild blackberries out there too. So, alright. So, if you enjoy walking in the woods video, and this is a little bridge. Little bridge here. It's on our property. Right over there is where I found a hole. Gotta take care of that. There's water spigot. I ran water to there, and then so there's a water line ran through here, going back over here. I keep this all mowed during the summer, you know. I'd like to take that tree out. It's kind of annoying. It's ugly. But the water line runs through here, and back there about 40 yards ish is the water meter. I had that all cleared out and trenched. You gotta watch it when they might even be out today, but I got a lot of fire ants around here too. But if you go to the top of that hill, run it all the way down to that connecting road down there, all this right here, that's mine too. There's about an acre right there, and eventually I'd like to clear it out from the top of the hill all the way down and just have all this cleared out except for a few of the nice big healthy trees, and just clear the rest out so it's all weed eat and mowable. Because all of this up front here, there was only a spot about a third of this clearing when we bought this place. It all looked like, well, it all looked like that throughout up to this tree and all this. We got all this cleared out, which was me and the family, and chainsaw, weed eater, mini excavator, dozer, and this was all grown up to, you know, about right in here. So we got that all cleared back. We're still working on getting this cleared the rest of the way back. And then come down here. That one time I was telling you about that big flood we had, right through here, if you see all this newer looking rock, it had washed all it, because there's a big ditch on that side too. It had washed all this out, and this road crumbled right here. So they redid all of this. But here's the other side, the creek. From the bridge side, there used to be a railroad bridge go across there up to that hill, where it used to go from that hill, railroad bridge, to that hill. And the property line, it goes down this way just till you get right behind their garage. So like I said, you guys, you know, appreciate it if you watch, especially if you've been this long. You're either really bored or you like the woods. So I'm pretty sure it ain't the hillbilly way my voice sounds. But yeah, that's part of why I gotta be careful over here. There's a gas line, underground gas line that runs up and goes over to here. And that, when I was making that driveway, I looked down, and you know, I stepped in a hole right in there on that creek on that side. I looked down and I seen a big trench and yellow gas line. There was high pressure gas line exposed right there, so the gas company had to come out and fix it and stuff. But there's my son's tree. Hasn't started sprouted yet. We planted that. He got it from the school. I got to clean out around this one, but this is a dogwood that my granddaughter gave me years and years ago. Planted it here, but I got to get it all cleaned out. And then one of my grandsons, this is a tree that he had that we planted here. We got some down, show you in a minute, but there's some cones down there. There's a pawpaw tree by them. If anybody knows, if you watch this long, do you have to have more than one pawpaw tree to get fruit? I haven't looked it up yet. And here, you know, here's an area that I got to get cleaned out. I had this mowable at one time, but then we bought the house instead of, you know, because I was out here every weekend doing stuff until we bought a house. And you can see I laid some trees down, and well, then we bought a house and I didn't come out here much. But there was an overzealous beaver. I don't know if we got another one out there, because this wasn't like that a couple months ago. But if you can see that big old tree right there, beaver started chawing on that one. So I don't know. But all this line that I have right here, it was out here, like I said, that out there and this up here was almost all the way across. There was just a little patch right here that you could mow. And, you know, we were going to, at the time we were going to live out here. So, you know, I was out here busting my butt, and the family was too, cleaning this place up and reclaiming this. I cleared out a bunch of trees out through here, and it was, all right, there's where that pawpaw tree's at. But I was doing that, and now eventually, wife and I, when we're retiring stuff, up on top of that hill, we want to build a little small house and just move out here eventually, you know, down the road. But here's I was telling you I had a bunch of honey locust and black locust. Here's a black locust that a big chunk of it fell. And the easiest way I've been able to tell with black locust and honey locust is, see how black locust will have, we'll have clusters of those spikes. They'll have, like, you know, clusters of them. And the honey locust is more all over the place, where, you know, the black will do more like that and do groups of them, where honey locust is kind of more all over the tree. But extremely hard wood. I just got to get out here and get it cut up. That's I will say, if you do anything with honey locust or black locust on a lathe, prepare to sharpen your tools a lot. Oh look, I forgot about that. I gotta get that out of there. Somebody left me a mower frame in my ditch. That was nice of them. Or the little part of the creek. Yeah, there's that. You can see that tube better. But yeah, right there where you see them big rocks, before that grew over, that whole area right there had them big rocks in it, because there's a high pressure gas line that runs right through there and up that way to the, well, I'll get up here, don't hit the hole again. It runs from out there where that was at. There's, well, you can't see it now, but there's another one right over there. And it comes across under. But before I went to fill this in, right in here, there was a big, because this right here all used to be same as that. But there was a big hole right here. It was big enough I could climb down in it, where you could see about 10 foot of that gas line. And then somewhere out here. Well, I say that, but I don't see it now. Somewhere in amongst all this junk was another one of those yellow gas line indicators. I do not know where it went. Oh well. But yeah, eventually we'll take the water from over there, bore underneath, run it up to the top of the hill, and have our put a little house out there. So, well, I know it's a long video and nobody's probably making it to this point, but if you do, thanks for watching. Hope to have some more videos coming. Every time I get ready to make one, for some reason I don't. So can't blame anybody but me. But got dirt on me. My pants all dirty. Oh well. I got youth group tonight too, so I'll have to go home and change. But hey, thanks for watching. If you make it this far, hey, if you don't mind going watching some of my other stuff and subscribe and all that good stuff, I'd appreciate it. So be blessed, have a wonderful day, and Jesus is Lord. Thank you.